Hi, you guys. It's Yaz. And a lot of people keep asking the same question over and over. They want to know, does a narcissist regret hurting you? See, here's the thing with a narcissist. They're aware that they hurt you, but they're not worried about your feelings. They're worried about themselves. So, do they regret hurting you? Not really, okay? Not really. If you got hurt, a lot of times the narcissist feels, well, that's your fault because you didn't know the game. But narcissists, what they do is they block out any feelings of shame. And I've seen it, okay? I've seen it in my experience. When they don't want to feel something, they block out those feelings, okay? Or what they do is, see, narcissists are aware that they lie, they manipulate. They're very aware of all of this. But the difference with a narcissist is they justify it. Like they'll justify why they cheated. You were cold to them. You didn't give them attention. So although they know the act of cheating is wrong, they don't regret it because what they do is they justify whatever they do. And this is why they have to constantly make you the bad guy. Because in making you the bad guy or shifting all the blame on you, it justifies what they do. Okay? Like they may fight with you or something like that. What they're doing is they're fighting with you in order to go out sometimes and cheat on you. It's an excuse for them to go out and cheat. So they'll start a fight over nothing. But then what they'll do is they'll justify it and say, well, you fought with them. And now they feel better about going out and cheating because, you fought with them. They'll justify it in their minds and say, you fought with them, or you were too controlling, or you were sensitive, or you didn't let things go, okay? Or some of them will actually say something like, well, nobody's perfect, all right? So this is another excuse they use to justify what they do. Or they'll say, well, why don't you take a good look in the mirror, or look at you, all right? So they're not going to regret something when they're twisting it around and making it your fault, okay? The other thing is they can't introspect, they're not going to look at themselves in a negative light. And I had somebody ask me, he said, well, can a narcissist, are they aware that they're a narcissist or something? A narcissist is not going to want to look at themselves and say, could I be a narcissist? They're never going to want to look at themselves and say, could I be something negative? Okay? Because as it is, you're dealing with somebody with a very, very fragile ego. So no, they're not going to look at themselves as a narcissist. They probably don't even want to. What they're going to do when it comes to narcissists, they're going to say, you're the narcissist. This is what they do. They're just going to flip it and call you the narcissist. But they won't introspect and say that they did anything wrong. They don't want to look at themselves and think that they did anything wrong. So this is why a narcissist can't be fixed, okay? Because in order to fix somebody, they have to be able to acknowledge that they have a problem. But a narcissist won't acknowledge that they have a problem. So they can't repent, they can't fix themselves, and they're never going to change, okay? A narcissist is not going to change. I've yet to see a narcissist change, okay? And, a lot of people talk about, well, narcissists, they can change, blah, 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 blah. Anybody that says the narcissist has changed is doing it for some kind of reason, okay? It could be money, fame, whatever. But in general, all right, a real narcissist, somebody who's very narcissistic, is not going to be able to look at themselves in a negative light or acknowledge and say that they have a problem with themselves. So does a narcissist regret hurting you? No, not really. No, they don't. What they can feel, though, you guys, is guilt. And I've had a few people say, oh, no, they don't feel guilt. I'm telling you, some of them can feel guilt because I've seen it. And the way that they feel guilt is out of nowhere. They may buy a present for you. They may give money to their kids. Maybe their kids, they don't do anything or they don't see their kids. And what they'll do, not all of them, some of them will send money. And why do they do that? It's out of feelings of guilt because they know they're not there. They know they're not parenting their kids. Narcissists hate parenting because it takes work and sacrifice. So in order to alleviate their guilt, they may send, let's say, a gift on the kid's birthday, like may send some money or something, and that's their way of alleviating their feelings of guilt that they weren't there, okay? Or they may, out of the blue, and this is rare, do something nice for you, and you're like, well, why are they doing something nice for me? And it could be because of their feelings of guilt, because maybe they knew, they're feeling guilty of, cheating on you. I've had narcissists, you guys, that have cheated on me and out of the blue did something nice for me. I didn't even know at the time they were cheating. I had one narcissist buy me all new tires. And I'm like, and this narcissist was like really, really cheap. All right. This guy was cheap. And out of the blue, he's like, oh, I want to buy you brand new tires for your car. And I'm saying, where's this coming from? And sure enough, later on, I found out he was cheating. Okay. Or, they may go out and buy you a flower or do something out of the blue. And you're like, where is this coming from? That is their feelings of guilt. That is what it is. But they don't regret, hurting you. They don't regret it. What they do is they kind of block it. They put it to the side and they don't want to see those feelings of hurt. And I've seen it even in my ex, when he was feeling, certain feelings with regard to the family and everything, what he used to do is block it out. And he actually told me, I block out those feelings. All right. I block out those feelings, the feelings of guilt of not seeing his mother because of the friction with the family and everything like that. Because what he was doing was making both, me and his mother suffer because he was caught in the middle and he didn't know how to, mediate between the two of us because he was controlled by his mother. All right. So he used to block it out and block out the feelings with his mother. And, it was like a back and forth nonsense because he couldn't regulate his emotions. So narcissists, they can't regulate their emotions. So what they do is they block it out and they try not to think about it. So they're not going to sit there and regret, oh, I regret how I hurt you, or I regret, I regret lying to you or anything like that. No. When have you ever seen somebody regret lying to anybody else? I've yet to see that, okay? Narcissists feel justified. See, this is the big thing. Like somebody asked me and they said, are they aware that they're lying or do they believe their lies? Number one, they are aware that they're lying. Number two, no, they don't believe their lies. No, they don't believe their lies. But what they do is they justify the fact that they're lying. So they'll say something to the effect of, well, I lied to you because I can't talk to you. I lied to you because I had no other choice because you argue with me all the time. Okay? This is how they twist it and make it justified for lying. But they know that they're lying, but the justification is behind it, so that's what makes them feel it's right, okay? So a narcissist feels it's okay to lie because of the end result of what they're trying to accomplish. They may feel, okay, it's okay to lie, it's okay to manipulate because I had to, because this is my way to survive, because, I'm protecting myself from getting hurt. So, they even justify their cheating. Some of them will try to twist it in their minds and they'll actually think in their minds, well, you were cheating on me. You were cheating on me. Even though you have given them no reason to think that you were cheating, they are so afraid of getting hurt that they will justify it and think that you are cheating in their minds and say, well, it's impossible to think that you would never cheat because everybody cheats today. This is the narcissist mindset. In their mindset, everybody cheats, everybody lies. So they're just doing what everybody else does. So the problem, you guys, all comes down to trust. A narcissist doesn't trust. They don't trust you from day one, all right? Like, again, I'm going to mention, I saw somebody did a reel, and in the reel, she says, oh, once a narcissist finds out, once the narcissist knows that you know they cheated on you, the narcissist will no longer trust you. Sis, you got it wrong. The narcissist did not trust you even before they cheated, okay? So the big issue with trust is narcissists just don't trust because you're dealing with a wounded, damaged individual, all right, who feels justified in everything that they do. They're doing what they have to do to survive. That is their mindset, because we live in a cruel world where it's a dog-eat-dog world, and they're not doing anything in their minds that anybody else isn't doing. So when you sit there and say, well, do they regret what they did? The only thing they regret is not manipulating you better to get that supply or getting whatever else they could get out of you, okay? They don't have empathy for you. They know. I dealt with a narcissist, you guys, who was a malignant narcissist, who at the end of the relationship actually admitted and said to me, well, I know I hurt you. I know I hurt you. So he was aware that he hurt me, okay? But the difference is he didn't regret it. And if he had to do it over, I'm sure he would do it over and over again. He didn't regret what he did, because in his mind, he feels justified in what he did. And he feels he's doing what everybody else does in this corrupt world. But, they don't regret in the sense that a normal person regrets and repents and wishes that they didn't do it. They have no remorse in that sense. Narcissists don't have remorse. They won't allow themselves to feel that kind of feeling, all right? Because that would crush them because of that shame and their fragile ego. So again, what they have to do is they have to justify it and make it like, well, it's your fault. Everything is your fault for what they did. And this is how they take that shame off themselves and they put it on you. And guess what? Now they don't have to feel regret because it was your fault. Okay? So it's so typical of a narcissist. And this is one of the biggest red flags, is when they start blaming you for things that they do. When you start calling them out on something, taking accountability on something, the minute that they start pointing the finger back at you is the minute that you know, okay, this person can't take accountability. Now they got to start blaming me, or now they got to start questioning my mental state to discredit me because they're worried that I'm going to inflict shame on them. So when you see that somebody can't take accountability, generally it's because they have a fragile ego, can't deal with shame, and they will flip it back onto you. Typical classic narcissistic behavior to make you the problem. So when you break up with a narcissist and you're sitting there and you're saying to yourself, well, do they regret anything that they did to me? Not really. Okay? I'm just going to be blunt and let you know the truth, because I am all about the truth. You guys, I don't candy coat anything, because sometimes you got to hear it in order for it to sink in and be able to heal. A narcissist doesn't regret what they do, all right? Again, you got to look at the person that you're dealing with. You've got to look at their mindset. You've got to look at what their motives are and what their intent is. Go listen to my podcast about the intent of a narcissist. I had a woman like that. And I also did a post where I talked about the narcissist is not built like you. Narcissists are heartless. Okay, if they have zero empathy, they are heartless. They're not like you that has a heart. So don't equate them in your thinking to think that they think like you, because they don't. They are very cold people, especially the covert narcissists. They are very cold. They will leave you for dead. They will abandon you. They will abandon their own children, and I've seen it, okay? I've seen it all around me. So they could be cold, and what they do is, okay, because I'm thinking about my ex and how he was, and I'm thinking about other people that I know, and what they do is they block those feelings of regret or shame. This is what they do, and what they'll do is they'll justify it, and some of them, their pride comes before. See, because narcissists are filled with such pride Pride is something that God disdains, by the way, all right? People that are full of pride, that can't succumb and be humble. A narcissist can't humble themselves. The only time they humble themselves is when they're fake acting and pretending that they're a nice, humble, empathetic person. But that's not them. That's all an act. But in general, a narcissist is very proud. So a proud type of person will not regret, giving you the silent treatment, will not regret abandoning you because of their pride, because they feel maybe you're disrespectful to them. Maybe they feel you didn't do what they wanted you to do. All right. So in their minds, they feel that you are the problem and that they have to do what they have to do. Again, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the fact that the narcissist feels justified in doing what they did. Even if they lie, they feel justified because they want to make you the problem and say, well, I had to do what I had to do because you're a sensitive person and I just can't bring it up to you. So no, I don't regret lying to you or anything like that. But of course, you're going to say something when somebody is lying to you. So they're justifying the fact that they're lying and making it right, even though they know consciously that it is a lie. So they're not going to regret it. They're not going to regret hurting you because, again, the narcissist is not even going to give you that much time in their brain. They're going to be focusing on people that can do for them. They're not going to be looking at the past and be sitting there and reminiscing because the narcissist was not in it for what you were in it for. The narcissist was in it for supply. The narcissist was not in it for love in a sense that they were willing to sacrifice and open themselves up and bend and compromise with somebody. That's not what the narcissist was there for. The narcissist was there for sex, money, place to stay, ego boosting, comfort, security, whatever benefit they could get out of it. But when that benefit ends, the narcissist is not looking back and thinking about how they hurt you. What they're thinking about is where they can get more supply. They're focusing constantly on trying to fill that empty pit within themselves because they're empty people. They're fractured souls. And I had a woman actually ask me, she said, do you even think they have a soul at all? And it's like this, you guys. I think they're fractured souls. They're just damaged people. And you know what? They just can't appreciate the little things in life because they feel they got cheated. They always want more. And, they don't regret what they do because they feel like, if you got hurt, it's your fault. All right. It's your fault because you're naive. That's how a lot of them look at it. They look at it like, well, you got hurt. That's your fault. How many times did you hear a narcissist say, well, you did it to yourself, okay? Or they victim shame you and blame you for something that goes wrong in your life. Instead of having some compassion, they'll say something like, well, you did it to yourself, okay? In other words, you made the wrong decisions and you did it to yourself. So it's going to be the same way when you sit there and you ask yourself, well, did they regret anything? No, they're going to look at it like you did it to yourself, okay? You did it to yourself because you didn't know the game. You didn't know. You are a sucker. You're not up on things. So, oh, well, you got played, okay? That's what it is. Oh, well, you got played. And I'm just doing what everybody else is doing, and you're just a victim of the game, but that's your fault because you didn't know the game. You were too trusting, okay? That's how they look at it. You were too trusting, and that's where you got hurt, all right? But that's your fault. That's not the narcissist's fault because the narcissist doesn't, look at what they did to hurt you. Instead, they look at it like, well, you were too trusting. That's your fault, so you got hurt, okay? So no, a narcissist doesn't regret, hurting other people because they feel justified. This is their survival tactic. And how do they survive? Because they feel if they don't do it, somebody else is going to do it. So they will never, ever, now remember this, you guys, they will never, ever put themselves in a position of being hurt. This is why a lot of them will cheat on you. Even if the relationship is good, they'll cheat on you because they're terrified of you ever cheating on them and you getting one over on them. So a lot of them will cheat because they're afraid that you'll cheat on them, and then, it would crush them to know that you got over on them. It would crush them to know that you were hiding money and they didn't hide money, okay? If you're dealing with a covert narcissist who constantly hides money. So they're terrified of anybody getting one over on them. So what they do, they feel they're justified in doing what they had to do. Because again, it's a dog-eat-dog world, and everybody's, corrupt. Everybody is cheating. Everybody is lying. So, all women are bad. All men are bad. This is the mindset of the narcissist. So why are they going to regret that? They're not going to regret that, because in their minds, they're going to say something like, well, I had to do that because I know in time you would cheat on me and you would hurt me. So I had to hurt you before you ever hurt me. This is the sick mindset of that narcissist, all right? So instead of thinking, did they ever regret, just be thinking, thank God I got rid of them. Thank God, kiss the ground and say, thank God I got rid of them, okay? Now they could be somebody else's problem. You're saving your life. That's what you're doing. No matter what amount of time you spent with the narcissist, now you're looking forward. Don't look back, you guys, because the past is gone, all right? Look forward and moving forward and learn. Learn from the lesson that you learned with dealing with that narcissist, to be very careful in who you trust, and trust is earned over a period of time, okay? So I hope that helps everybody. I want to wish everybody, a good Friday and happy Easter, happy Passover. Stay blessed, you guys, and stay grounded in God, because God never abandons you. And I'm not sitting here trying to preach, but I'm just speaking for myself. That is your strength. When nobody else is around, God is your strength, and that's what keeps you grounded, all right? So when you stay grounded and you walk in the truth, there isn't anybody that could take you down. And I'm speaking from experience, because I've been down where I had nobody, and that's what kept me strong and get through the horror and the trauma that I went through in a lot of different ways in my life. So I'm just telling you guys, I'm wishing you happy Easter, happy, Passover, happy Good Friday, and, be thankful for the good things that you have in your life, and stop giving the narcissist any of your time, even thinking about them. Refocus, rewire your brain, change your brain up and say, you know what? Okay, the past is gone. Now I got to think, what do I got to do for myself? What do I got to do for myself today? What do I got to do for myself this week? And I'm moving forward in my life, and I'm going to, be happy, because happiness is a choice. All right. So you guys have a great day. Have a great weekend. Stay blessed. And, don't forget to subscribe and share the podcast. Take care. If you guys are having a problem in your dating or relationship, or you're dealing with somebody maybe that's narcissistic, you don't know if they're a narcissist, or you're just having problems, you're in a toxic relationship and you need some clarity on it, go to the link in the podcast description for my website, where I offer email and phone coaching. If you have a quick question, just a quick question, and you want to get a video sent back to you answering your question, there's also a link there for Vizio, where I will send you a personalized video answering your question. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and I want to tell you about my 2 books on Amazon. The first book is Regain Your Power. It's all about power and relationship. Who has the power in the relationship? And it goes into all of that, okay? The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time, okay? Check it out. It gives you a lot of good clues as to whether you're with somebody who's a real one or somebody who's just going to waste your time. You could read them both with Kindle's free trial membership. So check it out. Link is in the podcast description. Hi, you guys. I just want to let you know that the Game Exposed now has their merchandise available. Check out the link in the bio, and you could go check it out. There's cool hoodies, cool sweatpants, cool hats. So go to the bio for the link. And also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook at The Game EXP 123, and also on Instagram, The Game EXP 123. Okay? And have a great day.